Well, hello and welcome back to the Tao Manifesting Tarot reading. This is the audio edition. There is no video edition, just strictly an audio edition. And I do it because the point of this reading is not to stroke your ego. It is to help you manifest, in my opinion. My humble opinion. Most of the tarot readers are just stroking your ego so that they can get likes and looks on the internet. I'm not doing that. I am helping you to focus your imagination. That is the number one tool for you to be able to manifest. Now, we work within some limits given to us before we were 5 years old. That's our programming. That's what we carry with us through life. For example, you want to get into somebody's stuff real quick? Tell them, geez, you're just like your mother or just like your father. And then step back quite a ways, because their first thing that's going to come out of their mouth is something like, no, I'm not. Actually, it won't sound anything like that, but you get the general idea. No, I am not like my parent. Yes, you are, because that's where you got your programming. That's where we all have it. Everybody else can see it. You can't. I can't. We can't. And so we live out our lives kind of acting out a script given to us by our parents or grandparents or whatever. From about the age of birth to 5, maybe 6, you are a blank check. And all the information comes in. You don't evaluate it. You're not smart enough. The brain's not developed enough. You can't do that. You just bring it in and say it must be true. It comes from mommy, comes from daddy, comes from grandma, grandpa, my uncles, aunts. Doesn't make any difference. Brothers, sisters even. And so within that context, that sort of limits your ability to manifest. This is where we are headed in the readings. We want to get to your subconscious. So I don't do visual stuff. This is not a video. Video stuff distracts. The eyes get picked up with the action and they're following the action. It's like a mouse with, not a mouse, but a cat with a laser beam. You've seen those. The cats got a laser beam on the rug and the cat's chasing it. Can't help it. That's how we are. So the visuals are just what you see on your screen, just the tarot layout. That's all, nothing more. You can close your eyes, get into kind of an alpha state, and just listen. By the way, you can also get up and get a cup of coffee, a tea, sandwich, soup, salad, whatever the heck you want, cereal. Doesn't make any difference. As long as you're listening, that is the key, because it is the sounds that evoke the images. For example, one day you hear on the radio or wherever you get your music these days, a song that you have not heard in years. You've forgotten about it, but it was one of your favorites. And you hear it again, boy, and it takes you right back. Video can't do that, because a video is a combination of sound and images. And there's a bit of a conflict there. It's okay for storytelling, but it eliminates or reduces your imagination. You hear that song from years ago and you liked it, and you hear it takes you right back. That's what we're aiming to do with this. So let's get to it. Bottom row, upper row, middle cards are essential. Here we go. Boom. Middle row at the bottom, milk and honey. Milk and honey. For those familiar with the Bible, you know that they referred to the Promised Land as the land of milk and honey. Why? Well, back in the day, milk was not pasteurized, so it was actually good for you. Honey was also not treated in any way. It was organic as well, and it was extremely good for you. And those two things very likely could keep somebody alive for their entire life. Raw milk, unpasteurized, raw honey, unpasteurized, were tremendously important in terms of giving sustenance. And really powerful stuff, even today. In fact, just recently, they found some honey back from about 5,000 years ago in ancient Egypt. Honey is still eatable or edible today. You're not going to get poisoned by it. It's not going to kill you, anything like that. It still would be good today. I think the taste was a little sharp, but nothing too tough is what I remember reading. It was actually a very pleasant experience. So the land of milk and honey means the land of sustenance. How do you sustain yourself? That's what we want to manifest. This feeling, this idea of you not just surviving, but thriving in a time where there is almost hell on earth. How do you do that? How do you make that transition from just surviving the bullets to thriving? That's what this reading's all about. And we begin with the Knight of Wands. Knights always brings gifts, and the Knight of Wands always brings enthusiasm, because that's what Wands are all about. Enthusiasm, positivity, joie de vivre, the joy of living. When was the last time you felt the joy of just being alive? That's what the Knight of Wands brings, or gives you the option. Alrighty? Confidence, courage, passion. Very important. Very, very important stuff. But right next to it, we find the Nine of Wands, which is the determination. Persisting instead of giving in. And that's what it's going to take. You should know that by now. The last 3 years, actually it's gone on a heck of a lot longer than the last 3 years, but the last 3 years has been very evident and obvious. Something's up, something's afoot. And if you just look around your life, things have changed dramatically. People are trying to get connected, but they're disconnected. They're not up close and personal anymore. And with that, you lose the connection. How important is that? Well, think of your smartphone. Think of your laptop. Battery's running out. What do? You plug it in. Find that USB port. Boom. You do that, you're golden. You're charged again. That's what you're looking to do. You're looking to put a USB thing into your spirit, so to speak. You want that excitement, that connection, that positivity, that enthusiasm. The Knight can bring you the gift. The Nine of Wands is bringing you the attitude of, I am not gonna surrender. Next card over is the Star. And the Star, it means several kinds of things. It's hope, it's guidance, it's inspiration. But it's also healing. It's also healing. And you can see in the card, because it is up front, it's not hidden, that here's this lady pouring pitchers of water into a pond, a stream, whatever. That's simply feeding yourself emotionally, I think. This is a mighty big adventure. I mean, when we start off with two Wands cards, the Knight and the Nine of Wands, that talks about wanting to put enthusiasm in your life. That's wanting to your life to be fed with milk and honey in the ancient way. And the final card in the bottom row is the Sun. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. Sun card is powerful juju. It's illumination. It's clarity. It's success. It can even be fun. All life on the planet, all life, no exception, depend on the sun. I live in a place where we can get, especially during the wintertime, we can get clouds for days. I mean, it can be cloudy, no sun to speak of, for weeks. And you can see it on everybody's face, man. They're down in the dumps and how you doing today? Okay. The first day we have that sun pop out, the first day we get that blue sky, everybody smiles. Everybody's up. Everybody's excited. Everybody's enthused. There's an element of joy, activity. The attitude has changed immensely. We are meant for the sun. We are meant for that brightness. And that's the kind of energy that you need for this spiritual feeding. Because we're not just talking about feeding your body. We're talking about feeding your heart. We're talking about filling your soul with joy, positivity, enthusiasm, the healing that you can benefit from that. And the energy is there. You can do it. That Sun card gives you ticket. Let's go up top, second row, first card, the world. Things are changing. You know that. For the most part, we do not have control of the change, but we can control our reaction to it. And this is what this spiritual feeding, milk and honey stuff is all about. Going for the positivity, going for the enthusiasm, going for the joy of life. Make your life energized again. Make you feel like you're not just a spectator to life, you're actually a participant. But that means you're going to have to change your perspective. You're going to have to be like the Hierophant. You're going to have to change your belief system. You're going to have to change your group identification. Are you going to be thinking like the masses? Are you going to be a sheep? Or are you going to determine for yourself what the quality of your life is going to be? That's what manifesting is all about. It's not acting like a victim. It's acting like a victor. It's participating. Again, we're talking about a spiritual feeding. And the Queen of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles right next to her say very simply, it's realigning your values. I know I talk about this value system every single day, but it's so doggone important, and we just gloss over it because it's easy. Our value system is set up for us. We don't have to think. There's the problem. Because when you do that, you stop feeling, and your spirit withers and dies. So it's a situation where you must be like the Queen of Pentacles, but you got to make a decision about what's really important in your life. There's the Two of Pentacles. Because that's what Pentacles are. They're not just money. Any tarot reader who talks just about money is an idiot. Pentacles are what you value, not somebody else. What is important to you, like health, like happiness, like love, like friendship. Yes, money plays a part, but you can't buy friendship, you can't buy love, you can't buy happiness. And you know what? You can't even buy health. Because eventually we all die. Doesn't make any difference how rich you are. So what is really, really, really important to you? Final card. Vice versa card. Up top in the center. And it is the Knight of Cups. It's self-love, man. It's self-love. Okay? You need to look inside to find out what it would take for you to love yourself. And that means appreciate yourself, value yourself. Don't let somebody else set your value for you. You're only worth this. You're only worth this. No, you don't deserve it. To hell with you. I do deserve it. As long as it doesn't hurt anybody else particularly. I need to love and value and respect myself first. Otherwise, I can't take those gifts and put them out in the world. It's a spiritual feeding. A spiritual, emotional, mental land of milk and honey. Feed yourself. That's the read for today. Back tomorrow with another Tao Manifesting Tarot. Hope you're there with me. If not, between now and the next time you and I get together and do a little manifesting, peace and blessings. And you know what? Go live an inspired life.